With us on the program today, Angus Seedstock Producer Gary Godley, Godley Ranch at KC, Wyoming. Tell me about your ranch and how long you've been raising registered Angus, would you?
Yeah, I've been raising, I believe, since 1993. We used to have a production sale here, and I sold yearling bulls. I tend to kind of focus mostly on females. To me, they're more interesting than the bulls. The bulls are kind of necessary. As I've gotten older, I've established a clientele that pretty much just calls me. I don't do a whole lot of advertising. And I've gone to 2-year-old bulls that are entirely either grass or hay fed and tubs, possibly some cake this year. But they're handled pretty much the way a commercial rancher handles his bulls when he takes them home. Being 2-year-old bulls, I can do that. With yearling bulls, you kind of have to grain them. You get them a little bigger. But with these 2-year-olds, the people that have become invested in that type of program really like it because the bulls stay sound and they hold up structurally. It seems like their longevity is a little better. They don't have to get them in shape. They can go from the trailer right to the pasture and start breeding. So that's kind of what I like.
You know, on your website, you had some interesting thoughts about EPDs. Give me some of your thoughts there, would you?
Oh, my. EPDs serve a purpose as long as you don't make all of your fundamental selections, I think, on either EPDs or genomics, either one. I think the problem with EPDs is many times they become a marketing tool rather than a selection tool. For me, I don't use them a whole lot. I try to go with breeders that I know when I buy my own herd bulls and breeders that I trust, which actually kind of leaves out a lot of AI. I don't do a lot of AIing on the place here because I think sometimes the numbers get in the way there too. There's been instances in the past where I bought older type of herd bulls that I'll say it was a bull that was sired 10 years ago, or his sire had some bad numbers. For instance, if you went and bought a Traveler Son today, the numbers would look absolutely horrible. But you know, the bull might turn out to be pretty good. So to me, you have to use your cattle judgment and kind of your God-given talents and go out and make selections that way. So use the EPDs as a tool, which is what they were intended.
What are some of the things that you do to manage your grass to utilize it to its fullest?
Well, gosh, that's a year-to-year thing. This year, of course, is a little bit different. We had a drought last year, and like an old-time rancher told me, have you ever seen one dry year in a row? And the answer is probably no. So I kind of prepared anticipating that this year was going to be horrible. Kind of back like in 2012, 13 through there. That was a lost year. That was really terrible. So to prepare for that, it's more of a herd management rather than a grass management. But I sold down earlier last fall. I was wanting to keep over my steer calves, the ones that I cut. And I decided that was not a good idea to start on a drought year. I'd like to start running those as yearlings. The other thing is I've got a pine ridge that runs through this ranch, and you can't use it in the winter. I lease it to people that just have like 100 head of sheep, but I can't run the cows in those pine trees in the wintertime. So I try to get as much use out of that after the breeding season is over, which is going to be in about a week. And then I'll move most of the herd into the pine trees. Yeah, there's about 2,500 acres in there, and just kind of, I guess, intensive graze that. But there's a lot of good leftover grass, and so I'll try to utilize that. The rest of it is meadows. I don't put up hay, so there is some irrigated pasture on it that way, and I guess that would be a grass management thing rather than a hay management.
Gary Godley, Godley Ranch at KC, Wyoming, and Angus Seedstock Producer. Thanks for joining us. Always great to have you along. Come back and join us again, won't you? I'm Howard Hale.